Okay. Next, Digital says, do you have step-by-step standard operating procedures and checklists for like I guess who's in Semantic Mastery SEO, or for Semantic Mastery SEO? Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of. I give out SOPs all the time in the mastermind when people ask for them. I've given out tons of SOPs that I developed for my own team. As long as what I try to do often is create SOPs for my team first, and then kind of whitewash them. In other words, make them more, get rid of individual like stuff that's proprietary for my own agency or operation, like, account details and stuff like that, and then provide kind of a vanilla version of it, if that makes sense, to our Semantic Mastery Mastermind members. So I give away a ton of SOPs all the time, or when somebody asks me up for one specifically, if it's something that I need, that I'm doing currently in my own business, then I don't mind producing one, because I generally have one already anyway. I produce process training for just about absolutely everything I do. In fact, I've spent the last week and a half now doing process training for my my new agency's team. It's just been an enormous amount of work. But once again, I've said this a million times, by spending the time, investing the time in developing processes, even though it's incredibly time consuming. For example, I have one very specific GMB post process that I use that gets results, but it's time consuming. And I had tested with it, doing it myself for about 3 weeks, and got really good results from the various tests that I did with it. But it's very time consuming. So I budgeted out an entire day to create the process training for that GMB post process, that I could hand it off to one of my VAs. Little did I know that I always underestimate how long it's going to take to develop a process. And it took me 3 damn days. So I fell behind all the other work that I had scheduled last week by 2 days, because it took me 3 entire days, full days, no shit, to complete that process. And it was a lot of work, and it's frustrating because it pushed me back on some, behind schedule on some of my other stuff that I had scheduled for the week. But I don't have to worry about doing GMB posts in that particular method because I have a VA now that does it for me. And so again, it's very much, I just recently started using something that I needed some article spinning for. And I forgot, because I haven't done article spinning in a long, long time. I forgot how tedious it is and how much I don't like doing it. So I spun one article on my own, and then I was like, that's it. I'm developing a process. And it took me a day and a half to develop a process to teach one of my VAs how to do article spinning the right way. So again, it's very, very time consuming, but it's something that should be done. So yes, just to answer your question, in the mastermind, I often share my SOPs when people request them. So yeah, we do. By the way, this is a process, this that I was just pointing at. This is a conceptual level process. In other words, this is what our components do, and why we use them, and why we stack them or build them in the way that we do. If you want the how to do it, that's where you join the mastermind or the heavy hitter club, or purchase one of our training programs, one of our training products that teaches you individual, the how-to for each individual component of the overall SEO shield. Does that make sense? So this is the why we do what we do. The how is inside of our mastermind, heavy hitter club, or in our individual training products. You want to comment on that, Marco?
I mean, that's fine. Adam also posted the battle plan, which also includes like an overview. Mm-hmm. Not so much a checklist, but an overview of how to go about doing SEO the semantic mastery way. Wherever you go, I mean, in our groups, whether it's the heavy hitter club, whether it's the semantic mastery mastermind, you're going to get a fire hose of information. But it basically comes down to get your own page right and get your schema tight. I mean, and create the right relationships between the nodes. You can use an app to start. You can use a schema builder to start. You can use SEO Ultimate, which I recommend fully. But then you have to take that and you have to edit it, and you have to do it right, or else you're just doing what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for the bot to come and pay any special attention to what you're giving it, because you're not giving it any reason to treat it differently. Is when you start creating those nodal relationships that shit really starts to happen. That's on page. Off page, you get the SEO shield in place, order your press releases, and then start link building. If it's local, even if it's not local, I mean, you go into the GMB and you do that the local GMB Pro way, and with some extra spicy hot sauce that I shared in the Heavy Hitter Club. So, but it's all of these things put together. You can't just go into one thing and say, oh, I'm going to get the SEO shield and I'm going to rank for DUI attorney. No, the fuck you're not. I'm going to go and build a syndication network my way and rank for Amazon. Well, no, the fuck you're not. It's when it all comes together, is when you put all of these different pieces together. Now, in and of themselves, if you have a syndication network, it's great. It's great for syndicating your content and for powering up your T1 branded and your brand and your entity over time. Build an ad ID to give the bot an idea of what your organization is about. Build DriveStack and GSite, fantastic for pushing power. But how do you put all of these pieces together so that it's, you called it once, a holistic, right? Including pay-per-click advertising. So holistic SEO, where all of these different pieces are put together in one, so that you can have the full effect, so that you can go after something in the luxury niche like yachts and win. Because guys, I don't just like to compete, and I hate second place. Second place to me is the first loser. I'm not the guy that you want to say, well, at least, I went 12 rounds with Mike Tyson and at least I didn't get knocked out. Got your brain shook loose, got a couple of teeth out, but yeah, I survived. Well, hell no, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be the guy who wins, and I want to be the guy who wins time after time after time after time. I'm obsessive that way. I'm competitive that way. I don't like to come in second. I hate second place. I want first place. And so because I'm like that, everything that we do has been developed in order to be able to achieve that. And all it takes, and I'm saying all it takes because it's a lot of work, is more of it when you're doing it. And more of it. And then we have all of these other things in our bag of tricks. It's not really bag of tricks, but in our SEO bag that we can reach to. If it gets hyper competitive, if people start coming after you, if people start trying to take you down, we have things that we can reach out to. But the whole point is learn to put it all together. And the only way that you can put it all together is by being in one of the paid groups and being active and asking questions. You're not going to get everything here. I gave you an overall, but I'm not going to tell you how to put all of this together. I mentioned everything, including pay-per-click advertising, how it's done, the step-by-step, the over-the-shoulder, that I'm going to show you. These results that you guys are seeing, a part of it in this image that I shared in this group, in this webinar, part of it is that, but we show that live. We're showing case studies where we actually go into Google, not third-party bullshit where we show anything you want, but actual Google numbers, Google results, Google metrics, which is what really matters. And all your client is going to care about is those phone calls and those form fills and that money in the bank account. They don't give a shit about, oh yeah, well, we have this many likes in social media and we had these many visitors to the website and we're doing really good in organic rankings. They don't give a shit. They want money. So give them that. And the only way to give them that is learning to put it all together. The only way you're going to get that is if you join the paid groups. So this checklist, yeah, we'll give you the battle plan, and it's a great start. And we'll give you the SEO shield for free. And that's a great start. But it's only a beginning. You can come here and ask questions, but that's just the start of it. It's not the end all to it all. You cannot expect to go and compete in the luxury yacht niche and win if you're just going to go after the free shit and never come and get the real training that you need to go after the really heavy shit where you can make some really good bank. And I'm gonna get off my my pedestal now and let you guys continue, because I see another question came in. But I hope that helps. Digital, what is it? Digital Wahid. You can only get so much from a checklist, from a battle plan, and from asking free questions. BB, if you're watching, you can only get so much. At some point, you either gotta jump into the paid groups or go on to somebody else who can help you get the results that you're looking for. Because here, although we've had people build agencies and build businesses just from the free information, you're never going to get the results until you go and learn to put it all together.
Yep, I agree.